Streaming is really hard to get into. Streaming will take a big toll on you if you don't make it, because when you stream, I don't know if a lot of people realize this or not, but when you stream, you're literally like putting your personality, like you, on showcase, right? And so if you don't make it, if you're not prepared to deal with that, like what is your thought process? Like, wow, I guess I'm just not a good enough person. I guess I'm just shit. I guess wow, I guess I'm just not the type of person that people like. You know, like yeah, people. It's I think it's really hard to not be. It's if you don't make it as a streamer, it's really hard to not take that super personally. You know. No one really thinks that. I think they will always make other excuses for why they didn't make it. Well, yeah, but you make excuses because of that reason. You can't accept the fact that you're not special enough to be like a big movie star or something. You know. We ever visit the UK? I kind of wanted to do. I was close to it. Well, actually, I guess I almost did for DreamHack, but then I just fuck. I just said no because I got banned. But yeah, I guess basically the question is like you have to ask yourself like, do I do something um, that like other people want to see? Like, why would somebody watch me over anybody else? And if you're not able to come up with an honest answer to that, you have to be really honest when you look at yourself. You have to be really honest, and I don't think most people are honest when they look at themselves. It's really hard to be. It's a really scary thing to like actually think like, are there some qualities about my personality that are actually negative? Most people are not capable of doing that. This is why people get aggressive in ways that are very confusing. It's because they're avoiding that. For instance, how many times you see like a fat person who says like instead of like like oh I'm fat and it kind of sucks shit, they'll say like oh skinny bitches are shit. Fuck those little bitches. You always flip it and like try to make somebody else tear somebody else down in order to make yourself feel better. I think people are really uncomfortable accepting a negative about themselves. Do you think a lot of people just expect to make a career out of streaming by just putting in enough time without considering what their streams are actually like? Yeah, probably to some extent, sure. I know that guy. He's currently in a downward spiral. I appreciate if you could shoot him a message. I can't. I'm not here to fix other people, dude. I don't even know if he'd listen to me. That kind of behavior helps keep you from depression. Yeah, but it leads you down cancerous mindsets. And it's not the healthiest, best way for you to live your life. You should be able to look at yourself, acknowledge negative about yourself, acknowledge that it's real, either work to change it or just accept it as a trade off of something else, and then you move on with your life. Like, this is one thing that I think I do exceedingly well. I guess it goes into what I said earlier. I said like I can like process something pretty honestly and then move on with it. And I don't really engage in any type of self delusion. I think a lot of people are deluded quite a bit when it comes to evaluating their selves. I think right now, if you're not hyperactive, you're not making it to the top streams. In my opinion, Destiny wouldn't have made it to past 200 viewers if he started streaming 1 year ago. Um, yeah, it's possible. I think that. Well, no, actually, it's highly probable because the type of so the two things that I do exceedingly well, or three things that I did exceedingly well, were I could play games at a decent level, I could interact with my community, and I was really good at reading chat and playing at the same time, and my insults were usually really clever and really funny. Those were like, so like if you're watching, the pros is that you're watching me play a game like StarCraft that I'm genuinely very good at, and even if I lose games, it's funny because I can like talk shit the entire time, but I can't do that as much anymore. It's really fucking hard. I've lost a huge part of my content because of how absolutely fucking cucked Twitch is in terms of how they regulate using their terms of service. It's actually like a really big part. Like the first like 18 years of my life, more than that, went into developing kind of like my repertoire of like insult based humor. Um, and Twitch totally fucking nuked that, insanely nuked that. However, like, and I don't like to talk shit to new streamers because new streamers are always ass paid as fuck. Like, to any new streamer that would, because I know they get like really high, like, oh well, you only made it because you started streaming way back then, you know, like I'm sorry, dude, but you have trouble setting up OBS to work with your streams. You would have never made it in my era. There were no forums for help. There were no subreddits to get feedback from. Like, you would have died. Okay, if you tried to stream in the era that I did, you would have quit immediately. As soon as I showed you the program, as soon as I opened up the Flash Media Live Encoder interface, you would have said, "Oh fuck this, I'm done. Back to college." So I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. Um, So yeah, I mean there are trade-offs to everything. It's probably a lot harder now because it's more saturated, but the amount of work you have to do to get your foot in the door is a lot less too. But yeah, there are always trade-offs. Yeah, you can just stream right from your fucking PlayStation now. Damn. Wow, nice job, Nina. What's a flaw that you have that you just accept and move on? I mean, about what? I think I have a really good image of myself. I mean, like, I understand. I think I understand most things about myself, and I think I understand generally how people view me. I would like obsessively read content online about me, so I have a pretty good thought of. I know the people that like me. I think I know why they like me, and the people that don't like me, I think I know why they don't like me. Um, yeah, I think I have a pretty good image of myself. Do you dislike most people, like just the people you meet? Dislike is a strange word. I mean, I can be friendly with anybody, but I probably wouldn't um, make friends. I don't make friends with anybody, I guess. Can you describe in your words what you imagine the opinions of people who don't like you are? Well, I mean, I can just quote them. Oh, man. Do I like people? In general, I don't like people. I think that people are very flawed in general. But it might just be because I have a huge ego. It's very hard for me to pick out because I have a very strange mix of like, on one hand, I'm insanely egotistical and narcissistic, but on another hand, I'm pretty humble. As dumb as that sounds, my personality isn't humble. But in terms of like recognizing how lucky I am to be where I'm at, and then recognizing the advantages I had growing up, I think I'm pretty humble in those regards. Um, but balancing that out sometimes is very difficult. How can people like Narcissa read their online criticisms and not have the self awareness you do? When people are shit talking, it's very hard to listen. Typically, if you start shit talking somebody, their brain instantly goes into like defensive mode, and you're never going to get through to them. I think I'm just used to it. I think I don't care. Like the very weird part, the very hard part that I've had to deal with over the past. This is like over like the past 2 or 3 years. It's really getting into the political debate stuff. Is that I have a lot of really I have a lot of qualities that seem really good, but that's only because they stem from very antisocial positions. Um, and I never explained the antisocial part of them before, but it's something that I've been trying to keep it in mind more as I like interact with more people and see how people like process emotions and everything. So like for instance, like I say things like, so here's something that I would have said like 2 or 3 years ago. Like, I can read online hate and it doesn't really bother me. I don't really care if people are saying mean things about me. That's fine. That's their opinion. It's whatever. Like, I say that, and that's true. But the reason why it's true is because I don't respect anybody. Like, I don't have anybody. Like, when you ask me, you're like, who would I want to meet? I don't want to meet anybody. I don't look up to anybody. I don't idolize anybody. I don't have like a hero or people that I like look up to and like think are super whatever. Like, that doesn't exist for me. So when I see people shit talking me online, all I see is somebody that's like such a fucking loser that they have this whole backstory, this fictional lore written about me, that they have to rush home from their shitty like school or shitty job to like obsess over my life. Like, why would I ever care what such a hopeless degenerate would type about me on the internet? Like, it's fun to poke and prod at these people and make them mad, but in terms of like being genuinely bothered, how could I ever be genuinely bothered by somebody that's so much worse than me in so many different ways, right? That's the underlying thought process. So the underlying thought process is like pretty antisocial, I think. So yeah, like I have to be careful to balance out. Like, I don't know if it's possible to not care what anybody says unless you have like a mindset that's like that mean towards other people. So yeah, so no, I've had to be like really careful about how I view other people. You say that as if you never criticize anyone else. Does that mean you're a degenerate human being who only lives to shit talk people on Twitter? I never. So I'm not talking about just shit talking people. The things that I generally point out as being really cancerous are things that I don't take part in, and that is the drama forums and like the meta subreddits. And I've always been consistent on this, that these are cancerous places. So for instance, boards like Kiwi Farms, boards like Pretty Ugly Little Liars, these places where you like take a person and you just like you obsess over them and you find out all the details about them and you talk about how much you hate them and all the things they need to change about them. So like these things, I would never take part of this. This is insane to me. Like, I could never imagine being so hopeless or so void of stuff in my own life that I would have to take such an interest in somebody else's life. But then again, I've never had like an idol or anybody that I looked up to before, so maybe I would feel differently if I had that. Maybe I could draw like more of a comparable experience. The Reddit equivalent to these are places like subreddit drama, shit Reddit says, kind of live stream fails a little bit recently, but like meta subs, circle broke. Meta subs are like cancer. It's basically like anytime you have a sub where people can go and like just shit talk other people and then obsess over that, like, oof, I don't know, dude. Did you ever look up to anyone when you were a child? Yeah, but they were all fake people, like Cloud or Hiro Yui and Gundam Wing or Snake and Metal Gear Solid or whatever. The whole world loves to gossip. No one is exempt from that. Yeah, but there's a difference between gossiping and what some people get involved with. Like, I guess like yeah, people like Poland Kiwi Farms are filled with horrible people. So like, here's an example, right? DSP is like DSP's fun to laugh at because goddamn does he do a lot of fucking retarded shit. So like if I see like a video, like an excerpt of DSP or whatever, I'll probably watch it and laugh. But if you see like what like the Sons of Kojima people do, like the forums where people obsess about every aspect of DSP's right, like trying to prove if he has like a girlfriend and like getting into like this is the picture analysis, like that shit gets really fucking sad. I don't know. It just seems like really those like, and DSP is a really dedicated hate group of people. And yeah, I don't know, dude. Wasn't the JF Pass court digging borderline cross that? Don't get me wrong. So I'll say this again. I've said this like a million times. The thing that bothered me about the JF stuff, I would have never gone into the JF stuff if somebody just brought it up. I probably would have been I was already borderline like not wanting anything to be posted. And there are people that message me volunteering more information. But I don't know what you think subreddit drama is, but it's basically your sub, but even more left wing. Subreddit drama is super elitist. Those people get really fucking crazy. I don't know. I don't like the meta drama shit. Is like really cancerous. The thing that bothered me about the JF stuff was that he kept bringing it up. There were like 2 or 3 different occasions where he kept bringing it up, and every time somebody brought it up, instead of being like, "Yeah, that was kind of fucked up. I shouldn't have done that," or "Yeah, whatever. I made a mistake. I don't want to talk about it." It was like constant affirmation and defense of what he did, and then the proving that he did nothing wrong, and The fact that like, yeah, I don't know. That really bothered me. Also, the fact that wait, fuck, what? I'm reading so many chats right now. Def not a commie. Thanks for 247, buddy. I love you, dude. You can watch the VOD. I keep reading the question when I'm in the middle of a statement. I need to stop doing that. Oh yeah, the JF shit. Yeah, just the fact that he keeps spinning, and the fact that it's probably going to happen again. Like when you're on the internet for this long, invariably you'll find a girl that likes you, and you'll probably try to like lure someone else in. And man, like the thought of a child being born into that situation is so fucked up, and it's so sad for the child. Like, could you imagine if JF like actually managed to knock up the chick that he raped? Like, holy shit, how much of a fucked up life do you have? Yeah, I don't know, dude. That shit is like really fucking. I don't know. Oh my god, yikes. I'm sorry, when I mean be on the internet, I mean like be like semi public or whatever. What do you think about the autism on Twitter from big profile people shit talking John Bain's death? Really? I haven't seen that. I guess it's possible, but. Don't you look forward to improving yourself and becoming the person you want to be? In a sense, isn't that kind of the same as looking up to someone, except you're just looking up to the person you're hoping to be? Yeah, but I feel like it's kind of egotistical, no? A lot of the people celebrating his death seem to be salty about the Gamergate stuff. Wasn't he like hated by both sides? Didn't he say enough things that anti-Gamergaters thought that he was a Gamergater and they hated him? But he also like disavowed Gamergate and was pretty progressive on a lot of issues, so a lot of Gamergaters hated him. I think both sides hated him quite a bit, no? Well, I gotta be really careful. I don't want to misquote him, especially if he's dead. That's like really shitty. If somebody mischaracterized an argument I made after I'm dead, I would probably come back from the fucking grave. Holy shit.